Alrighty guys, today's episode is full of stories. We got to talk about the Apple Vision Pro. We got to talk about Amazon potentially being a cellular company. And also we got to talk about the main star of the show, the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3s. We got some more information. But before we get to that, just as an excuse for me to use my quote homemade intros, Smorfy time!
Apple nerd, Google nerd, Samsung nerd,
OnePlus phone nerd.
Forbes Tech Nerd.
Alrighty, the first story, the main story, the real story we're going to talk about today, and then we'll get to the other ones. Really, any of them could be the main story. They're all worth having their own episode, but just for the purposes of today, first thing we're going to talk about is the Galaxy Buds 3. Now, it seems there is an increase in demand for the Galaxy Buds 3s, as there are a lot of people that are now watching my short. Shout out to all of you watching my short. But if you're here for an update, we do have some slim updates, nothing major, nothing big, but we do have a few indicators of what the Galaxy Buds 3s might potentially hold for their new release. According to Hi-Fi, or What's Hi-Fi, it seems that the release cycle is confirmed to be August. Based on the patterns that they have gathered and the data they have collected over the Galaxy Buds lifespan, it seems that we are going to see the new Galaxy Buds make their way over to the August Unpacked along with the foldables. So it seems we can realistically say that Samsung is going to be making a one singular Samsung Galaxy Buds model. They're not going to do a back-to-back release like they did it Unpacked in February, and then in the summer they released a brand new pair. They're actually going to do a one-year cycle, although I would argue it'd be better if they kind of do what Apple did with AirPod Pros, because making new models every single year kind of gets a little boring and doesn't really offer anything significant enough. But that's their decision, not mine, and I'm just here to report the news. So remember that for the future. Moving on, we can expect that the Galaxy Buds 3 is going to focus in three key areas. But before we get to those key areas, the biggest question that a lot of people have been asking me is, what is the price point going to be? Well, according to reports, it seems that the Galaxy Buds 3s are going to be a slightly cheaper model than the Galaxy Buds 2 Pros. They will be working around the price tag of $150. That is the rumored price. Some reports also suggest it could be starting at $169, and some reports have also said to be around $179. So to give you guys a more transparent answer, think within the range of 150 to 170. So that's my guess, and that's what we're hearing from these reports. On top of that, the other three areas they're going to focus on is the 3D spatial audio. It seems that Samsung wants to continue to expand the gyroscope and expand the technology in the spatial audio department, as we have seen a lot more companies have opened up to spatial audio and also 3D audio as a whole with Dolby Atmos. So it seems that they want to continue that advantage in their department, because I think Apple kind of perfected that. Another thing they want to work on is also the battery life. It seems that we are going to get more battery life, and it seems that while in doing so, in replacement of the battery, there is a report that suggests it. I don't know how accurate this is. I don't believe it for a second, but I just want to throw it out there, because if you hear this rumor, don't believe this. I don't think it's true, but there was a report saying that because the charging case is going to get more battery, they're going to get rid of the Qi wireless charging pad. I don't believe that's happening for a second. If they get rid of a very convenient feature to have, especially on truly wireless earbuds with wireless charging, that is ridiculous of all stretches of the imagination. So don't believe that rumor, but I just want to put it in there just as a disclaimer. But there is battery that will be improved. The earbuds are seemingly going to be breaking along the lines of the Galaxy Buds Plus with that incredible battery life, so we'll have to wait and see. And then lastly is the sound quality. Now, we've been hearing reports according that they are going to still continue with the two-way driver system of a woofer and tweeter. They have perfected that perfectly, and being tuned by AKG, it is very, very good. But there is a report saying that because of the new design, there is a suggested tip that they may go back to the original Galaxy Bud Pro design and have a woofer and tweeter in an acoustic design, to have it in like a single chamber system where it'll be stacked on top of each other and not on top like the regular ones that we've seen. So that way it'll be much more louder, more deeper, and better bass response, and also not sacrificing on the mid and high ends. But if you listen to Galaxy Buds on their own, they sound very good to begin with, so there would be no sacrifices anyway. And then lastly, just to round off the rumors with the Galaxy Buds 3, there is also reports saying that they will try to continue their integration with the Samsung ecosystem. Some reports are saying that now that they are reportedly going to consider opening the earbuds to iOS. We'll have to wait on that one, because if they do that, that would be great, because then I would use Galaxy Buds again. But if they don't, then I don't know what else to say there. But I'm going to put that also with the no Qi wireless charging. I don't think Samsung's going to open it back up. I think they're done supporting Galaxy Buds on iOS, but that's just me. So overall, with all of these rumors, with everything rounded up, I can definitely say confidently that the Galaxy Buds 3 are looking to be a more better improvement of the Galaxy Buds. But as I said before at the beginning of this video, I really think that Samsung should stop releasing Galaxy Buds every single year and do a 2-year window. Have a 2-year window where we get 1 to 2 years with full software updates or firmware updates, and then in the second year we get a new model that gives more improvements. That's why the AirPods Pro sell well, and that's why they are doing well, because Apple doesn't need to make new headphones every single year. And when they do make new headphones, it's for different needs. The AirPods with an open end, the AirPods Pro for in-ear. And each of them get their own upgrades along with the AirPods Max. So I think Samsung should take a page out of Apple's book and just do a 2-year window, and maybe finally dabble in the possibility of truly wireless earbuds going into full over-ear headphones. Maybe they should do something like that. I don't know, but I will continue to update you guys on the Galaxy Bud news. So make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss when I upload. Now we got that out of the way, let's move on to Amazon.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Alrighty, the second episode, the second part, excuse me. Again, these videos could have been 2 or 3 parts. Amazon Cellular. Now, it seems, according to several reports, that Amazon is interested in offering cellular services to Prime members. Jeff Bezos, the CEO, has reportedly been in contact with T-Mobile, Dish, which we'll get to in a moment, and also AT&T, of the possibility of using cellular services as a feature for Amazon Prime members. In exchange for their services, they will be charged a fee, but a reduced fee for Prime members, as this would be exclusive to them. It would reportedly be free for about the first 30 days, and then you can choose to keep it if you want, and this would only be exclusive to Prime members. Now, the reason why I want to report this is because I don't necessarily think that Amazon would do that, because the amount of money it would take for them to charge this, and if you're going to try to give this to them for a cheaper cost, I mean, it could work, but you're then going in the lines of a third-party MVNO, and I don't know if Amazon even wants to go in that field. But there is one thing I will say. If you remember, the Dish was mentioned in there. If you guys know, the Dish network has not been in operation yet. It is still reportedly under the works, that it's supposed to be rolled out as the next big carrier, which happened during the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, which I guess never happened, or at least it's taken a long time. If there was ever a speculation on that, I would think, if my brain was working right now, I would think that Amazon would be more interested in buying out Dish than getting to work with them. They would probably want to own the company, not try to work next to next. They could probably buy Dish markets, and they could just take over their mobile division and then create Prime Cellular. I mean, that's the best way I can think of that. but I don't know what Amazon wants to do. I have no idea what they're planning to do, but I will definitely update you guys if we have more info on this. So again, subscribe and notifications. And last story, the final story, the Apple Vision Pro. Now, this is something I just want to talk about. You don't have to stay for this part of the episode. If you enjoyed the last two stories, you're more than welcome to go. But if you want to hear my thoughts on the Vision Pro, I do have something I want to say about it, and I want to make this quick. So I have been very vocal talking about the Vision Pro. I have been talking about how I think that this is a very big move by Apple, a very big gamble, but I also think that it is actually something that Apple hasn't done in a while, and that's actually bring something that feels new and revolutionary to their market share. But specifically, I'm not talking about the headsets themselves. I want to focus on the software, because that is the key right there. You see, everybody's gonna say that this thing is not gonna sell well, this thing's not gonna do this thing's not gonna do that. We get it. It is probably not going to sell well. It's $3,500. Now, I may consider it, but $3,500 is $3,500. There's no way around that number. But with that being said though, the software is really the key here. You see, Apple is more interested in building out the infrastructure, just like how Tesla built out their infrastructure with the superchargers. They released the Model S, they worked on the charging networks, they worked on the stations all around, so that way once their charging stations were ready to go, they had it rolled out, that's when they made the cheaper model and the one that more people can afford. And I think that this is the exact same strategy that Apple is doing, but that it does it in a very good way, because the 1.0 software is definitely going to be very watered and tamed. It will have a lot of the things we need today, but in the next 5 or so years, it's going to be more advanced and more rerouted, that I think the software experience is really where this thing is going to shine. It's not the hardware, it's not the fact that you can use your hands, it's the fact that the software will bring it to a level where it is going to be on another level compared to Oculus and others. And then on top of that, and I've been saying this for a long time, I think the end game for Apple is to try to get that headset to the size of glasses. And that is, I think, the real play here, is that they're trying to do that. Now, I know other companies have done their own version of VR glasses. I know there are ones that exist out there from Chinese third-party makers, but the difference is that they use the same skin, they use the same software, and it's the same issues from all consumers, left, right, and center. And I think that's where Apple wants to excel, in the software experience, not the hardware, the software. And that software, I think, is the key to the future that Apple is trying to build out with augmented and virtual reality. And I think we're heading down that path. But I'm telling you right now, if I see somebody, I swear to you, if I see somebody in public with a $3,500 headset that is walking around with Apple's VR technology goggles, this new one, I swear on my mother, I will record if they get shanked the hell out in Manhattan, because I guarantee you somebody's getting robbed. So if you're thinking of doing it, don't be that. Be a hobbit at home, eat your Cheetos with them stuck in your belly button, and use that thing on your own. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but you know what? Let's end the episode. Have a good day, everyone. And oh boy, I really should have thought that one out.